So anyway, there is some stuff that we haven't done yet. And truth be told, I don't think I have enough pages of the Winnie the Pooh book to even get close to finishing it at this point. So obviously over here we've got the Little Mermaid world that we haven't dealt with yet because it's just rhythm game stuff. I don't even remember how much of that you have to actually finish to beat the world, or beat the game rather. And over here we've got, sitting at the end of this route, a Nightmare Before Christmas world. The second one of the franchise, I guess third if you count Chain of Memories, but that's basically the same as Kingdom Hearts 1, and intentionally so, but regardless, let's go ahead and do a couple of shmup levels here and start ourselves off by slipping into that accent a little bit more. It's Mario Galaxy. It does kind of look the part. Let's go ahead and unlock this world, even though we're not going to do it for a while. Because I remember the rhythm minigames not necessarily playing all that well. But the swimming controls in that world are actually quite good, if I recall correctly, which is real great when they barely have you put them to use in any way whatsoever. And then we'll do the same thing for that. I don't remember if it's actually called Halloween Town in this game, despite the fact that obviously it's more Christmas focused than the one in Kingdom Hearts 1. But enough about that for now, until we actually get there. I'm gonna hold the X button for like 2 minutes or so. I've never really timed how long any of these particular gummy ship levels are because of some reason. And part of that is I've just never really thought to. I do believe by the end of this stream we will be getting to the Tron world. I think. Which, I mean, that's kind of neat. This is back in remember, this game was released, at least in the States, in 2006. Released in Japan at the very end of 2005. Not this port, obviously, but back then, I think people were really starting to come around to Tron, so having that in there was kind of cool. Nowadays, they're making, like, I don't know, what is this, like the 5th Tron movie that they're working on now? There have been quite a few well after the fact Tron sequels. Well after the fact, at least compared to the original film. There was this tower versus mine, and there was this power plant. I mean, I'm gonna level with you. When you're taking two universes that are that heavily dealing with the idea of world hopping kind of stuff, well, okay, Magic stays inside of its lane except for Universes Beyond, which I'm pretty sure those aren't going to have lore implications. Unless that's going to be what happens at the end of the next of the big 3-year story cycle. Because they just get into such a place where it's like, well, we can't get anybody to buy these cards on the basis of our own IP. So we have to figure out a way to make it so that way all this stuff is considered to be inside the universe. I'd be like I'd be very conflicted about that, because on the one hand, I think it would be kind of interesting if they were like, hey, yeah, our characters will interact with these worlds, but Otherwise, yeah, no, Spider-Man can go kick rocks. As a Universes Beyond thing, I'm not saying anything about Spider-Man as a whole. There have been some good Spider-Man products out there. Some of my best friends are Spider-Mans. But as like a Universes Beyond set, it's like, dude, I do come here for a reasonably specific purpose. And I don't really feel like that is a part of it, personally. Like, okay, if it's your own alters, I mean, I'll be confused as to why you chose that, but I will keep my mouth shut past that. But yeah, one of the big things about a lot of that is that Lord of the Rings absolutely just fits very neatly into Magic because, I mean, Tolkien is kind of a major keystone of fantasy stuff in general. So that one's, like, almost inarguable. Like, you mean to tell me that part of this world wasn't basically already what Tolkien was doing in the first place? 40K is interesting because 40K obviously is a drastically different kind of fantasy by virtue of being like you know, by being so like futuristic in its way, and being like, calling it whole-on sci-fi doesn't necessarily feel accurate, even though obviously, yes, you would consider it a form of sci-fi fantasy, but it's quite, yeah. Now, I'm not really knowledgeable about Warhammer Fantasy. My experiences surrounding Warhammer are deeply conflicted because my feelings about Warhammer are, well, first of all, they are quite mixed. I'll say that my feelings about 40K, and I mean 40K because whenever I say Warhammer, remember, I don't know shit about Warhammer Fantasy. I know that it exists, but that's about it. So 40K is a thing that is, for all of its being about the grim darkness of the far-flung future, there is a certain amount of just absolute goofiness to it. A good example being the orcs. So it's not just the fact that the orcs paint things red to make them faster. I mean, it kind of is, because on some level, there's the meta of like, oh yeah, that's incredibly silly, and then you also realize, oh right, this is a joke about Char's custom mobile suit from the Gundam series. Because Char had a red Zaku or whatever, I forget. Listen, the only mobile suits I remember anymore are like a couple of the Gundams, the big thing with the bazooka from Wing, and the goof. So, as far as I'm concerned, let's just say that it was a goof, because the goof is just obviously very funny sounding in terms of its name. Spelled G-O-U-F for those of you who are not familiar with the franchise. So, Char's red thing, and it was purported to go 3 times faster than any of the other. Again, this is literally a thing that the orcs are capable of just making any machine into. In fact, I believe it specifies 3 times faster in the backstory of the lore. Yes, the backstory of the lore, not the lore itself. Oh my god, I'm so bad at words. But my point here is that it seems like every single Warhammer 40K player that I've met is a big weirdo. And not in the way of like, oh, you know, cool. I'm talking like the way when Tim Walz called people weird, what he was talking about. Right? Which I think it is possibly just a consequence of the fact that Warhammer is a mind-bogglingly expensive hobby. Like, you think about how severe the cost of Magic can get, at least you can kind of knock that down a little bit. It's much harder to do so with Warhammer. And I think usually it just requires a lot more space in general as well. So, yeah. So any of my feelings about 40k in Magic probably have more to do with the fact that I have been very unfortunate as to what proportion of the 40k fandom I've encountered. One sec. But yeah, ultimately it's fine. I think that there is at least a place for science fiction type stuff in Magic. But also, I think it's worth noting that... Nah, man, Slenderman has better teeth than that. I think it's worth noting that my introduction to Magic was kind of at the beginning of the original 90s Weatherlight saga, which did ultimately have sort of like a sci-fi fantasy twist to it in a way that like it definitely looked like something significantly older than it. What I'm saying is that you can put your sci-fi in Magic, just keep the amount of LEDs and that look to a minimum. Like, if Allegan technology from Final Fantasy XIV was not already part of the Final Fantasy universe, I don't think I would want that visual in Magic. I think Neon Dynasty gets a pass because it's cyberpunk very specifically. And not everything that looks like the inside of a gaming PC is going to... God, I sound really mean right now, but yeah. Cyberpunk is its own distinct sort of thing that's not just neon lights, in my opinion. Also, maybe I'm gonna give a little extra credit to Neon Dynasty because it's a perfectly fair recontextualization of an existing world, and one that you could tell Wizards was struggling with for quite a while. Oh, also, we get different costumes, so now we look extra ridiculous. Those wings do not do anything. They can't even, like, give us a pathetic flutter that doesn't get us nowhere. I wonder if I'll get proven wrong. Anyway, to finally answer the remark about super bosses, presumably not today, because that's probably a little outside our pay grade at this juncture, but...
What's that for?
It will happen eventually. And there are quite a lot of them in Kingdom Hearts 2, especially Final Mix. Because we actually do get to fight all of the Organization 13 guys that died in Chain of Memories.
Sora, Donald, and
which is
Goofy,
like...
welcome back. And Merry
God,
Christmas.
is it only 5 of them?
Merry Christmas. Don't you mean Happy Halloween?
Of course, Halloween greetings from Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King.
Shit, I can't remember what Sephiroth's deal is in this game. I don't remember what all the super bosses are, so I may have to go and look up a whole list, because
Sandy Claus blessing, so I'm off to Christmas Town.
Off the top of my head, I can think of
Sandy Claus.
The whole of those 5 guys who hopped the twig in Chain of Memories, which Larxene, Vexen, Marluxia, Lexaeus, and Zexion.
But first,
Axel is still alive and still, unfortunately, still voiced by Quentin Flynn, but I digress.
Come along, I'll show you.
Those 5 and Lingering Will, I believe, is the name of it, which is the semi-preview of Terra for not FF6 Terra, unfortunately. That would be interesting, but again, Nomura does not like redesigning Final Fantasy characters that are not his own for this franchise, and he did not design Terra. That is not one of the, like, 3 characters from FF6 that he did. I know that. As was discussed in previous streams, I know offhand that he did Setzer, and I'm pretty sure Shadow was another one. Or like Clyde was his real name. Which, to be fair, how intimidating can you be when you're called fucking Clyde? So, of course, you're gonna call yourself Shadow, right? Especially in this era. My goodness, I haven't even wrapped up my earlier points here.
Can you see that I'm in the middle of an experiment?
Assassin's Creed and Magic. I do agree with that on a pretty good amount of the level that, like, yeah, big no to Assassin's Creed. Primarily on the virtue of the fact that Assassin's Creed is historical fiction. And I would prefer for real-world figures to at least have some sense of being a little bit removed from the cast. Like, okay, if you're gonna have a real character, at least make like a fake version of it, which is kind of what they did with her name was Hapatra in Amonkhet. She's effectively supposed to be based on Cleopatra, but is not exactly. And then there's also instances of most of the gods in Theros are based on Greek gods that are actual ones.
Sally, did you finish it?
And
I want to show my good
yeah,
friend.
most of the Amonkhetu gods were kind of whip-stitched together from a variety of Egyptian gods.
Oh. Well,
So
that's all right. Just as long as it's ready for Christmas.
again, it's like, hey,
But Jack,
if you, I would
I'd best be off. I've
I
gotta
would
go
rather
get
not
Santa
see the
Claus
real
right away.
versions in there.
Wonderful to see you again. Goodbye for now.
Which,
Go get Santa Claus.
gee, kind of
please, Sora.
puts in sort of this interesting place. Like, where would you sit about severely alternate versions of characters where it's like, obviously it's drastically unrealistic?
Are those strange-looking fellows in the town square
Not that
with you?
the Assassin's Creed franchise is not like
fellows?
super duper unrealistic,
You know, the ones who
but
wanted to
like
spoil Halloween and Christmas? What are they called?
like
again?
Artoria from Fate, I guess, because
Definitely not with us. But
she,
Donald,
you know,
you and I
asterisk,
can be
this is
friends
King
with you.
Arthur in that universe, but also, I'm, but also Artoria, I'm using the feminine pronoun here, she, etc. Hey, look, we get another Jack. Not the other Jack from the other world where we had a Jack, but like, I guess where would the line be? But also, I think on the other hand, that's like, maybe we'll think about that when we get there. I mean, we still got, like... Listen, they haven't even finished spoiling what all they're gonna do with the rest of the main plot arc, so we can go, what the fuck is this shit, to everything after... Okay, so if I recall correctly, the next 4 original Magic sets, Magic setting sets. Good lord, that is difficult to put the words together because it's like setting, set up, fuck. So, yeah, coming up in Magic, there is that Edge of Eternities, which is space opera. And I know a lot of people have been very, like, not pleased with that. But again, I feel like depending on how you put it forward, it can work inside of the idea of the fact that Magic definitely started out with a certain fantasy aesthetic that kind of got blended with a lot of that shit. And, you know, you had a couple of artists like Bob Eggleton and Michael Whalen all did pieces for Magic, and there's some quite famous of that, like, 70s era sci-fi fantasy art. So it's not surprising that you get a little bit of that blended together, and also, again, the entire Urza Saga arc has at least some aesthetic cues from that here and there. It's a very wide open theme, and we'll have to... It'll be like, I'll have to see what that was going on with that. And then we have a return to Lorwyn and a return to the Nerd School for Nerds world. Which, oh boy, a Magic School universe. That's... I'll be kind of a, like, you know, stick up my ass about that specifically. Not because of aesthetic or anything like that. It's fine. Just like, that doesn't really hook me. Unfortunately, we don't know anything about what's going to go on with the fourth set of that year of original Magic locations, unless they just like pre-cancel it or something, and it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do another Universes Beyond that doesn't quite fit the bill. You like having... You know what? That's fair. I'll give you that. Because, yeah.
Perhaps you three could be of use to me. Come along, all of you.
I just don't think it's a particular hook, so... But, as a set, it is very good from the perspective of mechanics. And with the amount of alternate art of, like, really neat Oh. Okay, that... Oh, come on. Could you turn off whatever electric eye is in that thing that is specifically designed only to punish Sora? Oh, everything in this town is fucking rude. Yeah. That's a good point, though, about the archive, because there's a lot of cool stuff in there. So, opening that must have been a lot of fun. Unfortunately, by that point, I was out of opening anything so... I didn't get to experience that. But... yeah. And promptly forgets what I'm talking about past that. Oh, nice. That's pretty great. So... yeah, that's a potentially interesting, because, I mean, also, the other thing is that there is quite a lot of Arcavios that hasn't been necessarily explored in full. Not on the same level that Strixhaven Academy has, anyway. So, there's a lot that could go on there. It could just be like, oh yeah, by the way, we are using this as a hook for a world that you sort of remember. But actually, we're going to be exploring like the outskirts of it and the history and, you know, I guess kind of what they did with oh god, what was the full name? Lost Caverns of Ixalan. There we go. Yes.
Here it is, the door to Christmas Town.
I mean, obviously not with Olmecs or anything, because, well, I don't think the Olmecs would fit in Strixhaven, or Arcavios, pardon me, judging by the aesthetic. But yeah, ultimately, I'm kind of curious as to what they're going to end that with. But also, there is that, like, sort of absolute doomer part of me watching how they keep cranking up the number of Universes Beyond products. That also is just constantly like, oh, are they gonna fuck this Universes Beyond thing up real bad? And of course, I mean, there's a lot of precedent for that, and not just in terms of the set design that... One sec.
Cool.
And I'm not just talking about what they did with the set design with Assassin's Creed. That was a choice. Although ultimately, there's also this part of me that's like, well, at least there were fewer Assassin's Creed cards. Which is not just because, oh yeah, Assassin's Creed isn't, but also because Ubisoft does kind of suck as a company, and like, I know that Hasbro are a little bit on the mercenary side in the same way that like every company is, but it still kind of sucks to be like, hey, it's real cool to see you guys working with that company, and yeah. Retro Zetaflare is... We're not playing Kingdom Hearts 3 yet. That'll be a while. Oh, did we not get one of those? I think we got a different accessory. Okay, so I should probably take a quick look, speaking of accessories, at what everybody's got available to them. Okay, we got 2 tourmaline rings on you, so we can take those and we can give one to... Only the one to Goofy? He only has the one accessory slot? Damn, man, what are you doing with yourself? Bone Fist. Ah, well. I mean, hell with it, we'll buy 2 anyway. Wow, I'm spending a lot of money for 2 AP, and I look at all those AP boosts in my inventory like... Yeah, funny how I haven't started using those yet. I'd tell you, don't make fun of me for it, but... I can't stop any of you folks. Who am I kidding? Yeah, that's a Kingdom Hearts 3 thing, I remember that. But, oh right, let's just take a look at Jack. Jack is... Magic, and... That's the majority of that. I mean, at this point, forgetting how things work, yeah, I mean... That's not necessarily wrong. Alright. So, I do want to at least feed 1 AP boost over to Sora real quick, in order to get ourselves that once more equipped. Because that could save our asses. Oh yeah, I mean that too, but... Wait, what were we talking about? Oh right, I was still talking about magic. I got caught up in that because... Listen, I stopped playing eons ago and stopped well, more or less stopped collecting. I actually ended up... After I sold off my collection, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pick up a few more things, just for matters of having them in the... Like, the John Avon art Armageddon is one that I ended up picking back up because I still think that looks really cool.
On guard, loyal bodyguards.
Maybe next time I have an amount of money as like a birthday thing, I will actually plunk down enough cash on a judge foil of that. You know, like hell I would ever play that, like, even if I had a group of Magic folks I was playing with. Like, what sicko plays Armageddon, right? Who plays mass land destruction, especially of that variety? Like, okay, Ruination I will accept as like I will look the other way on that, because control non-basic lands, that's sort of, if you're playing Armageddon, you are definitely playing a combo or you're griefing. And if you're playing a combo with that, it's like, ooh. You are a sick motherfucker at that point, but
Anything bad happened to Christmas?
But yeah, that art I just think looks really neat.
That's where Santa Claus
That one's always kind of stuck with me since I saw that in like 1997, 1998 or so. I'm trying to piece together like anything else that I know specifically that I picked up. I mean, eventually I'm going to probably be picking up singles of some stuff from the Final Fantasy set, because obviously I have a strong affection for the Final Fantasy franchise, and there's quite a lot of characters in there that they gave cards to that I'm very happy about. Like, a lot of the a lot of the main FF14 characters that I like got cards. I'm actually strongly considering actually having something set up to roll with if I get an actual group together of people that I would like hanging out with, which is kind of the issue for me. But yeah, there are, I think there's multiple different versions of Emmet. So there's a couple of those. Oh God, what? One of them is going to be super duper expensive though, because the two-faced Emmet Selk that turns into Hades, that basically does a Yawgmoth's bargain effect. Like,
Here you are.
Sheesh.
Well,
That's
according
pretty
to
brutal.
my list, Sora, 7 years ago, you told everyone you did not believe in Santa Claus. Ooh, that is unfortunate.
Well, I don't know. You're in front of him right now, and like, come on, nobody knows. Donald, you got twigs for arms. I didn't realize he's got like wooden arms. That's weird. But yes, I agree with.
Am I on your list too by any chance? It's me, Jack.
I do agree with untap.in streams would be kind of fun to get with a group.
What sort of trouble did you bring this time?
This time?
It's a long story.
So that'd be fun to throw a couple of decks together. I have, like, out of the things that I could not sell, there were very few, and one of them was a rather cheap and not necessarily super well built Rurik Thar EDH that I built. Like, God, the last time I did anything with any of the cards in it would have been 2019. It was kind of a little bit red-green stacks, but a large part of that was also like, hey, I found a Price of Glory at some place for like a couple of bucks back when you could get that for a very small amount of money. I'm pretty sure that right now Price of Glory is probably like a $10 card or something. Last time I looked, it was quite expensive, but it's been a few years, I think. So disregard anything that I say about value or nothing.
Silence.
I was just like, yeah, it would be really cool to be able to do that, because I had a surprising amount of effects that did stuff like that, and also this would have been built around War of the Spark block. Fucking hell. Guilds of Ravnica block, that's what it was called. Yeah, currently between 6 and 8. Well,
Not those three.
that's better than what I was saying, but I did get mine for a significantly lower price than that, I'll say that. I think like $3 at the worst. I remember this for some weird reason.
Mr. Claus, I wanted to talk
I have like the most
It'll have to.
absolutely
I need to
bizarre
see how
memory
things
of
are progressing in my workshop.
remembering weird things and then not remembering certain other things, especially not important things. But yeah, like though that Itch Newman Druid, there were a couple of red cards that were coming out around that time, like Harsh Mentor and Ash Zealot. Ash Zealot, I think, was an older one, but cards of that nature that were like, you know, minor punishing and like tiny little health tax. I was like, this is a perfectly doable archetype that I felt was slept on at the time. By and large, a lot of the decks that... Oh god, I'm gonna sneeze 1 second. At least at the time, a lot of the stuff that I was building was stuff that seemed like it was kind of slept on. Like, I had built a mono-colorless Hope of Girapur deck because, truth be told, by that point, mono-colorless was actually a thing that was extremely viable and doable. Especially, like, you already had the Eldrazi for for commanders. And that's what most people would probably gravitate to. Because the Eldrazi are big, dumb, and kind of evidence of the fact that Magic's high cost scaling has gotten like increasingly berserk over the years. Because I don't feel that monocolorless is something that should be efficient cost-wise. In my opinion, like, there's my accent slipping through a little bit. No, Eldrazi is a term in Magic spelled Eldrazi, which they're basically sort of cosmic horrors of a sort. Not the most thoroughly Lovecraftian, but of course, the typical visual depiction of Lovecraft stuff does kind of come into it a lot. There's more hands than just raw tentacles, we'll say that. But, Irene, please. Plus, yeah, so again, my point that I was trying to make is that from a design perspective, I think part of it is just that I existed in a place where colorless stuff was often kind of ass in order to try to counterbalance the fact that you could play it in anything. So when you get into, oh, here is a oh god, so if I recall correctly, Kozilek was a 12-12 its original time, right? And the original card was, I think, a 12-12, and it cost like just 10 generic mana. And it had that Annihilator ability, and when you cast it, you drew 4 cards.
Ridiculous Christmas town. But now that
it's absolutely fucking disgusting, and quite frankly, it's only gotten more out to lunch since then. So I guess what I'm getting at is that I'm surprised that I didn't see a lot more mono colorless among most of the people that I had seen playing Commander at the time. Especially because there were absolute shitloads of like Thran Dynamos and all these other kind of. By that point, they were actually reprinting Thran Dynamo and things, so you could get it for like $2. Like the only one that I think would have been hard to get at the time would have been Grim Monolith, but obviously that's because Grim Monolith is on the reserved list, so they're too cowardly to reprint it. And somebody's gonna come in here and be like, actually it's not like that. And like, did any of you sign contracts when you purchased your packs? Horse shit, sorry, I'm losing it a little bit, but that's because that's probably honestly because, like, listen, Grim Monolith is a combo-oriented card, but I feel that a large part of its power level comes from... Oh, I think he's a Frankenstein, isn't he? Let's take a quick look. Yeah, he's a bit of a Frankenstein here. Yeah. Truth be told, I probably should be sticking with Goofy ahead of Donald, because I think I need to level up Valor form more to upgrade my high jump. Assuming it can be upgraded more.
I feel like a million bugs. I really owe you one for this, Maleficent.
Indeed you do, Oogie.
And there we go, Burlap Bill, he's back.
Donald and Goofy?
Do I remember them? Ah, You're too much. I'll
Just
never
summon Jar
forget
Jar
what they
Binks and I'll
did to
jump
me.
right out of the fucking game. Wait, I'm
What
kidding.
was it they did to me?
I have no ill will towards Jar Jar Binks or the prequels
And Jack helped.
because I haven't watched them in forever. But also,
That's right.
I admit
That's one thing I won't
I'm
be
not like the
forgetting anytime
biggest
soon.
Star Wars
It's the
person
last thing I
either.
remember, and it's the only thing I'll remember until I teach those clowns not to mess with Mr. Oogie Boogie.
Yes, that's right. That's the
It's
spirit.
okay.
And
Oogie
I
Boogie
have
doesn't
the
physically have a
perfect
brain. I
plan
don't think he's got
already in
enough space or
mind.
any more memory of that other than, you know, one thing.
Have you ever heard of Christmas Town?
Mr. Oogie, wake up, wake up! We
The
wanna
texture on
see how
Maleficent's
bad
cloak
you
is,
are.
well,
It seems he needs more time to recover.
you
three,
gotta change his batteries
stay
already.
here and keep Sora and the others occupied.
Yeah, that texture looked a little bit, well, blurry, really. I don't remember if it always looks that dirty because we haven't seen a whole lot of her this game. It has been a minute.
Stop them! Tie him down! Get him!
Oh, that thing is... Well... Oh, wow, it just ate a child. All right. We're off to a good start with today's adventure, everybody. Yeah, like that thing over there. How am I supposed to get at that? I mean, I suppose I could just like springboard off of this dude basically with my air combos and stuff, but if you're expecting that level of competence from me or setting things up, that's admittedly quite a lot of... Ah! Can one of you guys be a shield for me for a sec? Oh. Anyway. Oh, he's in invulnerable mode, huh? Remember to press that triangle button. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have guard equipped. I don't even know if that would reflect the fireballs. I think my instinct is always to just look at something like that and be like, oh yeah, that's only gonna get me so far anyway. Because often playing defensively in RPGs has this tendency to not feel the most rewarding for various reasons. I guess it depends on the RPG. And maybe part of it is just like, hey, I play stuff like Pokemon in such an aggressively aggro manner. I almost slipped a little bit into Salt there. In such an aggressive manner, you know, wait. One of these days I am probably going to have to play through the other routes of Chrono Cross, aren't I? Oh, good lord. Yeah, so to go back to whatever I was talking about before, which is always a good sign when you're describing it that way. Hope of Gearport EDH was a pretty fun deck. Admittedly, I built it before Field of the Dead came out. And when that was released, oh my god, that was a disgusting power level boost because for anyone who is vaguely Magic familiar, you will probably be not unsurprised to hear that the sheer amount of lands of different names that you use in a deck that is all colorless and again, we're in a format where you can only have more than one copy of a select few cards in your deck, like less than 20 across the entire game, that you can have one each of your 6. No, it's not less than 20, pardon me. There's the snow-covered basics, and that includes the snow-covered wastes, so that's 12 by itself. You can have 7 dwarves. You can have an infinite number of relentless rats, rat colony. There's another rats that does that. Shadowborn Apostle. The mill guys from that one Ravnica set, which I always keep on calling birds because of one of the secret lair versions of them. I'll pull it up because I find it to be just monstrously silly. I believe the card is called like Persistent Petitioners or something. Yes, Persistent Petitioners. Let me find the picture real quick. And it's this printing in particular from one of the Secret Lair releases. Unfortunately, it is grotesquely expensive. Otherwise, I would love to have some of these just for the fact that it's so silly that they were... Again, I should probably note that for anybody who's like, oh, what fucking world is that from? It's not. It's a thing. Secret Lair is a project that Magic the Gathering does for small releases of special cards that are outside of regular sets, but usually they're released under a certain theme. Yes, I love the Pigeon Persistent Petitioners. That is a lot of fun.
Confounded, now
And if they were like vaguely affordable, maybe one day they will start reprinting Secret Lairs or something. I don't know. Probably not. Just proxy. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. It's not like you can't just get vanilla Persistent Petitioners and just be like, yeah, okay. Well, here we go. The funny birds, you get to see those. And if you complain, well, there's regular ones underneath. Everything's fine. But yeah, I love that quite a lot. But yes, a very, very small amount total of cards that you can have more than one copy of in the Commander format. So, unsurprisingly, when I was playing Hog as my main commander, and Field of the Dead came out, that card was disgusting for that because it's just like, well, okay, I don't even have to try and build a mana base for that.
That's right.
Whereas with some other commanders, it might be a little bit of a pain in the butt to actually set up a good mana base for use with Field of the Dead. For monocolorless, it's just like, oh, I'm just playing Unknown Shores and all this other shit lands that I already have. That
in the meantime, I'll turn
obviously I'm not literally playing Unknown Shores, but regardless, it's not hard to build that mana base. You can just do it out of like whatever junk uncommons that they throw in every other set to be like, hey, here's your toolbox land that does something very niche and a little bit overcosted because it's not only not on a card in your hand, it's on a land and repeatable. So do you like paying 6 mana to turn this creature into a 3/3? Oh wait, no, Stalking Stones at least is permanent on that level, so disregard what I just said. Oop. Okay, yeah, I thought that's what was happening, but you guys were standing in front of it. I was like, are you gonna tell me to go elsewhere? Anyway, ultimately, I was talking about Magic cards that I purchased after I sold off my collection eons ago. And Other than that Armageddon, the only one that I can remember off the top of my head is I did get one of those, I think they were called double exposure foils of Marina Vendrell.
I've done a little redecorating.
But I think I've expressed that I kind of like her a little bit. I wasn't a huge fan of Duskmourn from an aesthetic perspective.
We just need a little more
But
of
I-
that boogie flair.
But yeah. Also, again, enchantment focused, so
Jolly old friend is looking forward
I've kind of always been like really interested in enchantments being a useful card type for some reason. But maybe part of that is because by the time I got back into the paper game,
You still here?
enchantments were in a really bad place
Grabbing my style.
from a power level perspective. That's when they had first printed
Sorry, can't remember a thing.
Demystify, maybe it was called. I forget. But a 1 white mana instant exile target enchantment. Enchantments were already not good, and they were kind of having a bit of an identity crisis that would progressively get worse with the amount of artifacts that used colored mana that were starting to show up. I mean, at least for a bit, it was limited only to New Phyrexia, and then they just started cropping up like all over the place, and then they quickly became like, well, what's even the point of these? Is it just flavor? And truth be told, for a while, yeah, it was. But again, I suppose that... Wow, I have strong feelings about design in a lot of this card game. Wow. One of these days I need to, like, actually post actual designs for anything that I was ever working on as, like, fan set things, places. Other than the Construct 7 one that I posted somewhere where I was like, oh yeah, by the way, hey, they reference prime numbers as a mechanic on another card, so screw it. Sits here referencing a 14 meme, and then I go look at like half of the Final Fantasy set, and there's a lot of meme references in there. Like, wow. They were having a lot of fun with the set, which I'm happy for. Especially because they are already selling to enfranchised players of, well, of Final Fantasy anyway. Less so Magic, but...
Jack Skellington.
Oogie!
You and I have a score to settle, Jack. Same goes for your little sidekicks.
What are you planning to do with Sandy Claus?
Hey, can you really recognize Donald with his wooden arms?
Sandy Claus? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, of course you didn't ask what his name was. You...
Why is this roly-poly red guy here? Time to go, Grandpa.
It's like, okay, yeah, I'm sure the idea is supposed to be that he's obviously like messing with Jack, but also
Santa Claus.
Oogie Boogie does have moments of being like just an absolute, especially in this franchise, of just being a massive clown that he wouldn't know who Santa Claus was, possibly. Well, he ran right into the shredding machine. Hey, would Santa Claus have gone up there if he'd been sucked into the... No, I think it was the other side of the conveyor belt. Oh, yes, I've seen this cartoon a plurality of times.
I'll squash you flat. That's right. Away you go.
I mean, I know that obviously, like, hey, yeah, of course the cartoon, it's Disney animated film based. But my goodness, this is like the cartooniest cartoon boss that we've had in a while.
That's right. Away you go.
We're golf swinging at these boxes.
I'll squash you flat.
We're stuck here on a conveyor belt in the Death Factory, and he's got this goofy fist thing. What? Well, now that was just rude, sir.
I'll squash you flat. Hope you like the boogie gift I picked out. That's right. Away you go. I'll squash you flat.
I will say this because I've been talking about voice acting. God, I preface like every statement I say with something stupid like that. I have problems speaking.
Hope you like the
So-
boogie gift I picked out for you. I'll squash you flat.
Since I've been talking about the quality of the voice acting quite a lot when it comes to
Like the boogie gift I picked out for you.
this game, especially after last stream when we were just like, oh my goodness, some of those Lion King voices could have been so much better.
That's right. Away you go.
That I feel like this bit of Oogie Boogie voice acting
Hope you like the
feels worse than the one in Kingdom Hearts 1, but I admit that I don't remember exactly what that sounded like. And it's been a bit of a minute. Perhaps it's actually quite bad in Kingdom Hearts 1 and I don't remember. I also haven't watched Nightmare Before Christmas in, well, it's been an amount of time, that's for sure.
Make a joke out of me. Let's break things up.
You know, I suppose because it didn't become enough of my personality when I was younger, that I haven't really felt the same kind of impetus to revisit it as an adult.
I'll squash you flat.
Maybe it's also because I'm just not a big film watcher in general.
Now you just try dodging this. That's right. Away you go.
Like, I have a not small list of things that I actually want to get around to watching. In fact, my... God, is he saying Pog, baby? He's not, but it sure sounds like it. Thanks, modern internet. My brain is just made entirely out of poison at this point.
Now you just try dodging this.
I know he's saying, I'll squash you flat when he drops the fist hammer. But, like, some of his other voices are a little bit... It's hard to tell some of them anyway. Like that, but that might have been quite hard to hear because I'm very, very loud. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm, like, able to muster enough Dick Gumshoe to be like, it's my endearing character trait. That was in the, well, air quotes DLC case from Ace Attorney 1. It wasn't DLC when it came out because it was actually on the DS cartridge. It wasn't on the GBA original, but it was on the DS cartridge. However, I believe nowadays the Damon Gant case is considered to be DLC now that the main way that Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney is distributed is via PC and possibly consoles. Oh, he's full of a suspiciously small amount of bugs this time. Now he's just, like, full of confetti. Oh, never mind. There's a really angry-looking, almost
All right, Christmas is safe again.
earwig. Inchworm? What the hell was I? Fuck. Anyway, who cares?
Perfect. I'd better get down to business.
Don't fuck it up, Jack.
Yup, you ought to stick to Halloween and spooky stuff.
Jack. Here, it's done.
Wonderful. Why, I love it. Thank you, Sally.
Jack.
You've only seen it folded up, my friend.
But I make a splendid Santa Claus.
Listen here, Jack Skellington. You saved me in Christmas as well, and for that I'm very grateful. But please promise you won't cause any more trouble. And about that suit, don't even think about taking over for me again.
I just thought you could use a little help this year, Mr. Claus. You must be exhausted from all the preparations. And I wouldn't mind a second chance to get this Christmas thing right.
Well, first things first, buddy. Reel in that beard slightly.
Can be tiring.
Get it closer to the chin, actually.
Jack, seeing the happy faces of little children when they discover the presents I've brought them makes it all worthwhile. Year after year after year. And you, Jack, you love to make them gasp and see them shiver with fright. What if someone tried to take all of that away from you? We both have very important jobs to do, Jack. Mine is to take care of Christmas, and yours is to take care of Halloween.
I'd ask how he blinks being like a skeleton, but that's hardly the most odd thing that Jack has done anatomically.
The Pumpkin King, the Knight of Nightmares.
What other chess pieces is he?
Fascinated with Christmas, Jack. Halloween is your true specialty. Don't you see? Children rely on both of us to do our jobs. Halloween needs your attention, and I know Christmas needs mine. Urgently.
You're right. I am the master of terror. And if Halloween has become too routine, all I have to do is think of something new that'll really make them scream.
Jack! Oh, Jack!
Have you tried animatronics? Oh, sorry. I'm here from about 20 years in the future to tell you that's been done to death.
We must go over the plans for next Halloween. I can't do a thing without your approval.
So true.
Good luck.
Alternately, I guess you could ask Michael Myers. Not Mike Myers. That's somebody different. Oh, God damn it. He's not listening to me.
Well, there he goes.
Yes, and I've got lots of names to check and preparations to finish.
Oh, Jack, this is no time for joking.
What's this? Perhaps a bit too festive for our Halloween needs.
Oh, yeah, for some reason his... Man, the objects that have manifested the keyholes have been getting kind of goofy for a while, but I think this is a peak. Oh, right. Once again, using the word goofy as a descriptor in this game probably muddles the waters a little bit.
We better get going.
Before you do, Sora, I believe there's a friend of yours who, if I recall correctly, was the one who told you there's no such thing as Santa Claus?
Oh, yeah. He did say that.
Be sure to give him my very best wishes.
I will, but... do you know where I can find Riku?
I almost tried to call him Knuckles
Don't
for a
give
second,
up.
and I think...
Remember, if you believe
God, I just really do reduce so many characters to Knuckles,
just
don't I?
as you found me.
Right.
It's okay, at least Amaranth kind of looks like Knuckles, but... Hey, cool, we learned Magnet. That is a spell that will probably be a lot more useful later on. But it's a pretty cool one. If I do recall correctly. Oh, I'm wanted over in the Hercules world again. Man, Nomura and his group of dudes really loves this Hercules movie. There's a main in every main Kingdom Hearts game there's a Hercules world. So that's something, all right. Oh, the guy from the Calm Lands opened his arena up again. Alright, so now we unlock the tournaments that were pretty much the main thing that you did in the Coliseum in Kingdom Hearts 1. Gauge can't be used, but limits consume less MP than usual. Huh. What level are we? We're like 28, so the Cerberus Cup is probably a little bit outside of our pay grade, but this thing we might be able to do. We probably should equip a limit ability because that's what they're like, hey, this is what it's all about. But nobody in my party has a limit equipped, so I probably should change that. Oh well, I'll try to get by without. I mean, part of me is just like, oh yeah, it's still the first tournament. It's not going to be that bad. Ah, yes, I'm getting beaten up by a car. Oh, wait. What is this, Fighters Mega Mix? What a... That's a joke that I'm sure is a little bit esoteric because, yeah, if I recall correctly, Fighters Mega Mix, which was a fighting game on the Sega Saturn, very heavily based in like the Virtua kind of series and all that stuff that Sega was doing at the time. One of the hidden fighters was literally a car that would stand on its back wheels and punch with its front wheels. I don't remember what the car was from, but I remember this being a thing. And Sega could be a very strange company sometimes. Air quotes, sometimes, right? Alright, yeah, so we got the lightning arms here, or whatever they're called. I forget. But these things have a powerful action command that, if I actually am in a position where I can use it ever, which will be very rare. But for now, absolutely nothing to worry about, shockingly. Maybe part of that is because Donald actually healed us, so I didn't have to think during that entire fight. Oh, these grenade guys could go to hell. Oh wait, we're already in the underworld, so we're pretty damn close as it stands. Yeah, more of these goofy guys from Beast Castle. Enter double score mode, huh? How long does that last? Just the end of the round? Well, that's not very useful in that case. But okay. Okay, this is a 10-rounder, right? Or is it a survive until time runs out? Okay, gotcha. That sounds like easy enough in theory.
Gather. Take this. Gather.
Unfortunately, the magnet spell does kind of drain the crap out of your MP, so I'm in a position where I can't do that anymore for, like, score farming. Not that I think that's a thing that I'm even getting halfway decent with here anyway, so too late for that, but I'm not doing it again because just in case I need to heal. Something I continue to say at the 3-second countdown. Who knows when they could just all enter rage mode. I mean, they're almost like bees. They could... That's a thing bees do, right? What do you mean, probably not? Where do you think they're all coming from? Is there like a big heartless dog somewhere with those heartless bees in its mouth? And it's just barking constantly? And, oh. I'm being told that they're apparently not bees, but I'm still calling them bees anyway because I started on it as some sort of weird gag that even I'm not completely sure I understand. But, yeah. I'm not sure if focus one of these two goofuses at a time is really the strategy. In fact, it very likely is not, but it's too late. I'm doing it anyway.
Here you go. Just give up. It'll be easy. Here you go. Here you go.
Oh, you have to live out through your entire final combo here, don't you, Yuffie? Or I have to land a finisher for the kill? It's probably more the latter, that I had to land a finisher to get the kill. But hey, wow, Sora, I don't know if that's necessarily the smartest way to do it, especially if it was like you wanted to avoid touching the sharp edges. That thing would have come down on you like a fucking axe blade, my friend. Well, hey, we got a couple items. Yay, and we got an achievement. Hooray! Wow, you beat the first tournament. Good job. Wow. I care absolutely not a goddamn thing about achievements in this version of the game. Because, A, if I'm going to play Chain of Memories, it's going to be on the Game Boy player. And B, I didn't play Kingdom Hearts 1 on this version anyway. I think I played it on PS3. And while I'm not necessarily opposed to replaying it on my own time, that's, I'll look at that in a second. That's still kind of like, hey, it does make me not care very much about achievements in this case. It's just Leani took a level in wimpiness in this game. A little bit, yeah. You know, he's certainly not Squall, right? Wait. Unleashes a guard-piercing attack on a slightly distant target while keeping up your own guard. That could be interesting. Again, for having chosen the shield at the start of the game, I'm doing a surprisingly low amount of actual defending. Regardless, I think we wanted like another 2 AP on Sora. And fuck it, we'll give Goofy another AP. Because I don't know if we get higher level accessories than what we've got, but... Oh, he's got plenty of stuff to... God, I wish I could get more accessory slots for him. I don't know when that happens, but for now... you take once more, I think is the one that we want for him. For now, and... What were we looking at? Oh yes, drive boost, okay. Truth be told, I really could stand to be a little bit more, you know, not hilariously stingy with my AP boosts. I have like over 10 of them right now. I could very well just feed a shitload of them to Goofy and give him a bunch more abilities. But for some reason, I simply have not done that yet. Hey, Moogle, you want some stuff? Nice, we got a power boost. That's the thing we probably should just feed to Sora straight off. I guess I should also see how good that Protect Belt is, right? Alright, so we got these Aegis chains. Okay, so it's just a flat +3 defense. I mean, that's nice and all. Swap that out. I think that'll be better than the 16% elemental defenses on those. So that's all we had to do here, right? Was check that out. Unfortunately, I don't know where we're supposed to go next other than possibly Twilight Town or Atlantica. And I mean, do we want to go to Atlantica? Do we want to experience Rhythm Game?
Help! The Sandlot! It's Cypher! Somebody please help us!
Sounds like we've got trouble.
That's the most we've heard out of Vivi this entire game. Or I think ever will hear out of Vivi in any game that he's in, really. Unsurprisingly, he sounds like a child because, well, we kind of went over that a little bit in FF9. We're headed to the Sandlot, but I will go there in just a moment. I'm looking around to see if there's anything that I've missed up here that might be important. which is simply to say anything that I missed up here. It may not even necessarily be important. It's just items, so we want those anyway, no matter what they are, even if they're complete garbage. You give me the classic complete garbajosa, and I'll just be like, well... Oh, hey, look, it's another AP boost. The game is really starting to rub in the fact that I am just not using those very much. Well, you know what, game? You're right. Goofy, have a bunch of these. Oh, no, don't throw that away. I'm pressing the button too soon. And we'll feed these things to Sora. Because that rarely, if ever, would be a bad idea, right? Oh yeah, you've still got bees in the tunnel, right? Folks, if you have bees in your tunnel, I don't know where I'm going with this. That's a sentence that I started, and I'm like, yeah, you guys can figure out the rest of it yourselves. Oh yeah, everybody got their asses whooped because they only have these weird foam bat things. Hey, we haven't fought any Dusks in a very long time, actually. Or really any of the Nobodies, period. Oh yeah, here we've got one of these tough guys that... we haven't seen yet. These guys, I think, are affiliated with Sykes, or is his name just pronounced like Sykes or something? Because he has the diacritical mark on the eye with the two dots. So my brain immediately is just like, okay, yeah, surely this should be pronounced differently, right? Oh, that was absolutely useless. If I'd used it better, I probably could have actually done something with it, but I did not. So whatever I was thinking, I didn't think it through enough. That's for sure. Wow, finally you gave me an opening. Yeesh.
Impressive. By the way, have you seen a man named Axel? I expect he's here somewhere.
Like I care.
You see, Axel's no longer acting in our best interest.
Is he with the organization too?
Yes.
You're having a fight?
Not a very organized organization.
Don't let your guard down. Axel will stop at nothing to turn you into a Heartless.
Gee, thanks for looking out for us, mister. But I'm sure we can take care of ourselves just fine.
Glad to hear it. Axel aside, it would break our hearts to hear something happen to you.
Hearts? You don't have any hearts.
True, we don't have hearts. But
Yeah, there he
we
is.
remember what it was like. That's what makes us special.
What do you mean?
With his very
Know
not
very well
much
how to injure a
of
heart.
a scar. I could have sworn he had much
Sora,
more
You
like
just keep
of
on
that
fighting those
that
hearts.
X-shaped scar going on. Like I swore it was
Jump in after
bigger.
him.
How come?
I'm not sure, but maybe he'll lead us to the organization's world.
Don't be reckless. Do you want to end up like Riku?
What?
But also maybe part of it is like I'm just thinking about how Zigbar has like those gnarly scars
What
on
did
his
he mean,
face.
End up like Riku.
Not that we've seen his face
Hey,
yet in the games.
how about you get out of my town now? You've caused enough trouble.
Oh, shut up, Fred Durst.
Come on, guys.
Hold it.
Make up your mind.
This goes to the strongest guy in Twilight Town.
Thanks, but we don't really need it.
Where would we put it?
Whoa!
He just he just gives a trophy to Goofy and leaves. Okay, Cypher.
Oh, Sora!
Whatever.
Pence, right? Do you know a girl named Kyrie? Kyrie? I sure do! Then you better come to the station.
Oh, hey, here's another Super Boss location. Absent Silhouette, that's what they're called. Right, I couldn't remember last time. But, yeah. That's for Lexaeus. You can tell that from, first of all, the fact that it uses Lexaeus' big fucking sword as its symbol, and also all the rocks that are circling it. Of course, if you don't know a lot of, like, any of the characters in Kingdom Hearts, you'll probably be like, sure, as a response. But as someone who actually did play Chain of Memories once, and I found it to be a bit of a pain in the ass because I did very bad decisions throughout that game. I do know those characters. I probably know way more about this franchise than
So, how do you guys know Kyrie?
I feel like I should or something.
Kyrie was really here?
Yeah. And she said she was looking for you.
Tell me where she is!
Well,
What a romantic story.
If you stick around, Sora's bound to show up.
yeah, he said he's coming back.
Okay.
What took you so long, Kyrie?
Oh, this guy
Somehow,
again.
I just knew you'd be here. I tell you, Kyrie, you've got a lot of guts jumping right into the darkness like that.
God damn it, this guy. Oh.
Ah,
Wow, he just...
ah.
I think the idea is supposed to be they're going through him, but it just looks like they just straight up missed.
Let go of me. Let go.
We had to go to the train station to talk about this?
Kyrie.
You think it might have been Axel?
Sorry.
Hey, it's not your fault. Come on, cheer up.
He's got plot armor.
I can even say that. I gotta help Kyrie.
Oh.
That was close.
And there go the weird little orbs. So that way they can extend this cutscene even more. As Donald Duck is left out again. But wait, Sora and Goofy both have the same orb.
Sora?
Sora, are you okay?
Huh? What?
Time paradox? No, no. That one's the key, I guess. Well, that's where the keyhole is located, in this tiny little orb. Okay. The switch over to this stock cutscene on this was a little bit worse than the previous few.
What just happened? A new road is open, and Kairi and Riku are waiting somewhere along it.
You'd better hurry then.
You coming back?
Promise.
If they don't get horribly lost, maybe. But I wouldn't count on that to... Ooh, fun. Access limit form alone with the help of friends far away. I mean, I think those are kind of one and the same at some point, but...
I passed on the message as you so desired. I told the young Sora to keep defeating the Heartless.
Good. Not only have you the power to inflict pain, you also have the power to plant seeds of doubt in one's receptive heart.
It's quite a voice actor
Sora
you've got there, buddy.
will soon begin to doubt himself.
I can't place who that is.
Him to hesitate.
The character obviously is Xemnas, but I can't place the voice actor as well.
Anger.
Duh.
That anger will fuel him to get rid of his apprehension and move forward. He will pave the way.
And we all know what his name is an anagram for.
Desire.
There's something I've meant
That's
to
right,
ask.
Ansem with the letter X, which is a spoiler because he's not Ansem related at all, as far as I understand. Actually, I forget that part of the lore, but...
The illusion of friendship, when he himself lacks emotion, trying so hard to retrieve what he has lost, when it may never have existed in the first place. He deserves nothing more than our pity.
King, Riku, and now I've lost Kairi again, too.
This dialogue is something you advance this way. That's weird.
Why, you're the key that connects
But it is,
everything.
but it's also voiced. That's why it's weird.
My
So.
fault.
Gorge, I didn't mean that. Just do what comes natural to you, and we're sure to find them.
You shut up.
That's right. Just get horribly lost.
guys.
Wait. Anyway, that.
Oh no! Hollow Bastion! It's all covered in darkness! You're right, Chipper. I wonder what's going on.
Oh right. This means it will probably be leading into the Tron world in a second here. So before I do that, I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. And we know where to go, and thankfully we can continue to not think about Finny Fun for another, like, half hour at least. Oh, good lord, there's... That's pretty rough.
Do you think...
Looks like there's more Heartless now.
Oh, and these guys.
Let's go check in with everyone.
I think they're at Merlin's.
Yeah, that's where everyone was hiding out before, that's for sure. Oh, right, we have a new Keyblade to look at. Alright, so how's the Oathkeeper stand up to our Circle of Life? Oh, it's a 3-3, that's pretty good. And increases the duration of our drive forms. That would be a very good choice, very specifically, if we were going to lean heavily into Wisdom form. Which, to be fair, we probably should work on that a little bit, but also... I do kind of want to improve my high jump on the other form a little bit. Anyway, let's not scroll through that because that'll take forever. This big guy is called the Berserker. Yeah, I mean, again, that makes sense with it being associated with Sykes. But it just has sort of more of like a defender look to it, but regardless, let's see if anybody here has anything. Drop down, would you? Anything new to sell? No new armor, which is probably good. We don't have money for it. And we do have the same 3 AP rings that I haven't really hooked everyone up with yet because of lack of money. Money farming in this game seems to take significantly longer. I mean, I guess if I actually went and farmed, we'd get money, but so far I haven't. Also, if I sold old equipment, but I don't know if I'll need any of that for, like, for any of the crafting stuff. So, in my defense, that. Oh, hey, here's Cloud, just hanging out here. Being like, oh, hey, I don't have my sword covered in bandages right now. Or his red scarf, either.
What you doing?
I'll get him. This time, we settle it. Me and the one who embodies all the darkness in me.
I said you looked kinda different, Cloud.
If I do, it's his fault.
Whose?
Sephiroth. Tell me if you see him.
You know, I feel like his hair looks a lot more sensible than it did in 7, at least at this point.
Sure.
I mean, it's still obviously like all spikes and everything, but because some of them are so slicked back compared to looking like they're just poking out everywhere.
Makes you think darkness.
And actually, when he straightens up, it's a little bit.
Is something wrong?
Less so, but.
It's nothing. I don't want you involved.
You mean you don't want me there when you go away again?
If this was the newer generation Aerith, she would be the one who could probably do the fighting for Cloud, but
I'll come back.
I digress.
Do you mean it?
Yeah.
See?
I'm not sure if
Don't
this
look
series would
so
allow that
sure.
in its writing, but...
Well, okay. I understand. Go. Get things settled.
Huh?
No matter how far away you are, once you find your light, I'm sure it will lead you back here again. Right?
I suppose.
So I'll stay here. And I'll cheer for you. Okay, Cloud?
Okay.
I ran
Wonder
out
if
of
he'll
things
be
to say,
okay.
that's all.
He'll be fine.
Wouldn't be the
I'm
first
sure
time.
there's some light in him somewhere.
You're right.
Let's go follow him, I guess. Or that'll be more by happenstance than anything, but... Alright, now before we deal with any of that horse shit, we should try to get this thing, at least see if we can. And of course, the first step would be to not just walk off the goddamn ledge. Yeah, I'm gonna need a little more to do that, so... Alright, where's the mobs? There we go. Now that I've wasted that many meters out of my drive gauge, that's... well... That long air combo is completely needless, but is a lot of fun. Alright, I got sidetracked. We're supposed to be going to Merlin's place, if I recall correctly. Oh, fun! I have a whole abundance of deck ideas that I would like to do some stuff with. Quite a few red, white, green, if I recall correctly. That I was like, But also, how many decks do I want to build in the same exact color combination? Yeah, I mean, there you go. Oh, you guys found Ansem's laptop? Alright. Well. That seems helpful. Out this way, right?
Excuse me, are you with the Restoration Committee?
I was gonna say, is this where we hit the...
What's Leon's gang up to?
They've got stuff to do over by the castle postern.
Scoop!
Huh? Let's report.
Our leader, of course.
Yeah, you know.
Don't mind her. I assure you, we come in peace.
You're kidding.
Problem? Okay, fine.
Ah, yes, the...
You do the talking.
I was gonna say, didn't we see one of them before? The 10-2 trio, but I could be wrong. Regardless, wow, hey, having Riku in a game where we have another character named Riku, that's only slightly confusing. I almost wonder if it was like Nomura doing that on purpose. He's like, oh shit, I definitely already reused one of these names, huh? Well, maybe people will find it funny. Not for the reason that you think, sir, but here we are. Wow, that thing did not even try to escape from that combo. That's incredible. Especially, you'd think it would be a little more dangerous to do that shit, too, because that's just a big spiked ball that we were fighting. But apparently not. At times, the game permits us to act with impunity. Oh, they're interrupting my requisite mid-2000s skateboarding minigame. Boo! It's more of just a navigation method than a minigame in this case, but still. Alright, what are we doing here other than seeing cutscenes? No, they're talking about Elvis, you fools. Ah, well, 1 out of like 5 ain't bad. Oh, I thought you were going to indicate that I had to go into that weird hole in the wall. I mean, that is sort of another weird hole in the wall that we have to go into, but that's not what I mean in this case. Let's grab that. Save. We're not able to grab that yet. Maybe in the future. Maybe. Oh, well, you could almost miss whatever that is. Wow. I thought for a second there was a thing up there. It just looked slightly... It's because it was a brighter color. And my brain was like, oh yeah, it's the color of the metal parts of the chest. So surely... And the answer to that is no. I'm being ridiculous. Again. Can't get that puzzle piece right now. Again, there's a lot of them that's like, hey, I need better high jump and or I need glide or something. But again, I think part of that is just that I haven't really raised my drive abilities too massively yet. I'm pretty sure there's like really good grind out there for these that I'd have to go look up, but later, you know. Oh hey, look, the wall patterns and everything changed. We must be getting closer to something a little more established.
Handsome.
Gorge, I guess this must be his room.
Looks like he hasn't been in here for a while.
Hello?
I told you it was Elvis, dude.
Hey, you.
Oh, hi, Tifa. You suddenly exist in the
I'm
franchise.
looking for somebody. Have any of you seen a guy with spiky hair?
Which one? Also, you're saying that to... Yeah.
Spikier.
He's...
Take a look around.
He wandered off somewhere. Ooh, treasure chest. We should probably get that before we get kicked out. I hope.
Sorry to bother you.
No bother, ma'am.
It's a hell of a kick, but...
So you made it.
Leon!
Where the hell were you hiding? What, were you just behind the black the whole time, like Homestar Runner? Come on! Listen, it's a long walk to get there, so... Alright, what's he doing with this particular computer? This looks like the crane controls from the Phazon Mines.
Where's Kyrie? Where's Riku?
It actually kind of doesn't, but...
Easy.
Man, the screen's not even moving. Come on.
Oh, sorry. Guess I got a little carried away.
Wow!
In his defense, Sora has never seen a computer before. Oh, hey, it's Stitch. You know, I've heard that live-action Lilo and Stitch is awful. Like... Again, shouldn't be surprising because all of the live-action Disney movies are kind of...
Attention current user. This is a warning. Further misuse of this terminal will result in immediate defensive action.
Who's there?
I am the Master Control Program. I oversee this system.
Where are you?
It's in the computer, you...
Donald!
I'm sorry.
Decision gate breached. You are now under arrest.
Arrest?
Oh, the cops are gonna come get us now. What bullshit. Donald fell on that computer. Come on, cut him some slack at least.
Run!
And the other two goofballs because they're not that big of a... Oh. Well, we're dead. Game over, yeah! Oh. Oh. Never mind, we're just going to the Tron world. It was definitely something, all right.
Go on, show him who's boss.
Oh, now we've got robot Heartless now. Heartlesses.
I am Commander Sark.
A heartless commander?
Observe.
Okay, you're the boss. I get it.
Are the shot collars necessary? Yes, probably, but...
Man, what kind of world is this anyway?
It's inside of a computer.
Mainframe computer system.
A what system?
A computer system for processing data. This system is a copy of one created by a corporation called Encom. The original program was destroyed.
Sora doesn't know what a computer
This
is.
copy was acquired by another user. The new user updated and customized the programs, renaming the system Hollow Bastion OS. He used the system for town maintenance and to advance his private research. My name is Tron. I'm a security program, but now I'm under arrest, same as you.
Did you guys get any of that?
Gorge! You know, maybe we should just introduce ourselves.
I'm Sora.
And I'm Donald.
Nice to meet you, Tron. Well, I'm Goofy.
With that
You sure are, buddy.
configuration, you must be users.
Users?
You'd better get out of here quickly. Who knows what the MCP will do to you?
MCP?
The Master Control Program.
You heard that voice before, right? Yeah, he's...
It controls the whole system. If you idle here, you will be derezzed.
So, how do we get out of here?
Whatever that is, it doesn't sound good. As usual, they don't know.
This terminal could have gotten you back to the user world.
But the only part of it that works is
MCP
the funny
cut
lights.
power 50 microcycles ago. If we could
It doesn't tell us how long that is, but alright.
We could power it back up. The problem is, we're stuck in this cell.
I mean, it does kind of look like
unless we unlock the energy fields.
we've just got big gaping windows there. Oh, they gave it a whole new color palette for this world. That's some good attention to detail. See, again, when this game is good...
Why not just derez Tron? I still haven't located the password to the data space.
Oh, hi, Andros.
What about a logic probe? With all your processing power? Out of the question. The current environment hampers the processing power needed for such an analysis. You're dismissed, Sark. Stop any remaining anomalies in the system, or else. End of line. Acknowledged.
Oh, we're from outside the... Alright, so... we got Don and Tronald with us. Wait. Hand over our materials, get our AP boosts. What does this new recipe do for us? Oh, it's just lets us craft more AP boosts. Hooray! A thing that we really don't need right now. But I guess good that it's there. Okay, yeah, we've seen all these items for sale elsewhere. We can't leave this world right now, but we can save, so we don't have to see those cutscenes or navigate that area again.
There.
If I recall correctly, this world has a lot of, like, elevator sequence type fights. But that was not a location where we had one. I just was immediately expecting it for some reason. And that some reason is that I think I saw that when I saw somebody else stream this game. Because remember, I haven't played this since it came out, but I have seen people stream it, so... Yeah, no, I'm just scoping out the area here, buddy. Don't worry. That bridge is not functional right now. That, however, is that finished puzzle? No, the one that I was looking for earlier that I only need one more piece for is the heart puzzle, I think. And we cannot get to that other piece right now, so... Ooh. Alright. What do we do here? Near automata hacking sequence? No, 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 no. That would be silly.
This is the energy core.
What?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Not bad. I sort of chanced into that a little bit. Following that is a little rough. That's sort of like shell game sort of thing, but extreme actually compared to what you'd expect just in terms of number of things you gotta follow. Ugh. Well, it looks like the screen turned on there. What you need, champ? Oh yeah, we didn't get the name of it for ourselves. We just knew it was the cell. We didn't get pit cell. In game we knew that, but for the characters, less so. Oh yeah, there's what's going on there. Alright, so I was expecting him to tell us about... Oh. Alright.
So, what did you want us to do?
Find my user. He'll give you the password to access the DTD.
What now?
So,
DTD is the name my user gave to the data space. Copies of all the original system programs are stored there, along with anything that's sensitive or restricted.
Is there stuff about the Heartless or Organization 13?
I assume he's been isolated a little bit from this plot, but he might know.
A number of my functions were appropriated when I last took on the MCP. That's why I need the password. If I can get inside the DTD, I can access my original backup program and restore all my functions. Then I'll be able to put this system back the way it was before the MCP got control and changed everything. The way it was supposed to be. A free system for you, the users.
Gee, Tron, ain't the MCP one of those programs too? Do you know who it was who made it?
Actually, I don't know.
Okay, we'll just...
Oh, I
have
thought
to
that was a
find
setup
your
that he was
user
going
and
to tell
ask
us.
him. What's his name?
You mean you don't know? My user is the user of this system. Ansem the Wise.
Ansem?
That guy. Did you not know that from the fucking painting?
Looks like the
And the fact that it was called Ansem's computer room.
I'll keep this terminal up and running. You better exit the system now.
Sure, but Tron, Ansem is...
Okay, you're good to go. Hurry.
I think they're just Metal Gearing it really for that one. As I said before, I think Nomura kind of wanted a little bit of what Nomura had going on with the you know, the amount of meta plot and everything with Metal Gear Solid. He wanted something at least that was that big. Obviously not the same themes or anything, but... Oh, I was gonna say, did you guys lose your voices? I don't know about that. Oh, a silly goose. I mean... I'm not referring to Cloud. That'd be silly. Clouds? Wait.
Excuse me?
Oh, not bad. Ooh, that's an interesting looking diagram. Hey, hold on. You should at least let us take a picture of this thing first. Just in case it collapses on us.
What's this doodle?
Hello. Bad. Security. Tron. Door to.
Looks like a diagram or something.
Door to. Darkness.
Oh! D. T. D.
DTD!
What's up?
Look at this. This must be the data space. The DTD. See? The door to darkness.
Yeah, it hasn't been erased well, to put it nicely.
It still leaves the password.
Say, fellas, did somebody mention the door to darkness?
Oh. Well, that's an entrance for you to make, Mickey Mouse. Say, fellas, did someone mention the door to darkness? Assassin's Creed Mickey. You're not wrong. He's... So, my understanding is that the black cloaks that Mickey Mouse and, like, all of those Organization 13 guys that we've been seeing wearing those is because apparently the Dark World is, like, dangerous. Unless you're Kyrie, who seemed to go through it without suffering anything whatsoever.
See, we're looking for the secret password.
So they wear them for, like, defensive purposes, but mostly it just makes them look incredibly... Don't say the G word, because it doesn't look anything like them, but it is incredibly silly, and one of those things that you just post this visual out of context of Mickey Mouse in this edgelord jacket that,
what are you trying to do?
you know, looks like something cobbled together from random pieces of Hot Topic.
Research data.
So that means you might be able to find out where he is.
And it is preposterously
Stop
silly.
joking around, Your Majesty. We already defeated Ansem. You know that.
That's a different guy.
Looks like I've got a lot of explaining to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of complicated plot
But
stuff,
first I've got a question.
which is going to get
Isn't Tron
made
waiting for you guys?
even more complicated soon enough.
Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. If those Heartless attack, I'll stand and fight with everybody here.
Yeah, we will too.
Then let's talk more later.
That's a promise.
I'll see you when you get back.
What do you mean? What's our new power store closed? Well, make sure you don't lose that jacket, Sora, when you're throwing it in the wash. We got Master Form, so wow, we got another new form, and we haven't even tried out the other one yet. Well, I guess that's a bunch of stuff to scan through here, basically. Aerial... Okay, that seems quite important. That's probably our, like... That double jump is probably going to be the thing that helps us get to a lot of that stuff. So... Nice. Yes, you do have another thing to equip here. So, in that case, I believe we'll equip Oathkeeper on the offhand for Master mode. And it costs 4 drive gauges to activate. That's a lot. Well, it's certainly more than the other couple. Ah, here we go. We've gained the ability to summon Stitch, who does something useful, I believe, but I haven't used a lot of summons in this game for whatever reason. Will parry most enemy attack. Okay, so not quite as... I thought that he dumped large amounts of mana orbs, but that's a different thing. Let's go back into the computer, because we're not done with this world yet. Because we get to watch this animation, which is... Well, at least they're keeping it short-ish. Considering... Oh, no, I think they got him. Told you not to touch it. Wasn't me. Alright, Shaggy. Okay. Where are we? This looks like a place where there would be light cycle stuff happening.
Welcome to the game grid.
Game grid?
That's right. You've been chosen to play a few games. Lose and you will be subject to immediate de-resolution. Win? Well... no one wins.
We're not gonna play your games.
You have no choice.
Well then, get on with it.
Alright, can you at least explain the rules? Turn left, turn right. And it's got kind of a rock paper. Lose and spend the rest of your life in 144p. Oh god. That's horrible. I don't like that. Oop. Well, I really hope that this isn't asking for perfection because, well... Well, at least the first round was quite easy. This thing will be much more of like a mini boss. And it's got a Triple H cannon, I see. It fires a wrestler.
It looks like we can escape through there.
No, surely that's gonna fix itself immediately. Or apparently not. I was assuming based on the way it all phased together. I mean, obviously we're gonna have to take the long route because duh, but... I was fully expecting the hole in the wall to just repair itself immediately. Do we get anything for killing these things? Because it's not like we have to kill everything to win the round, it looks like. Unless we do, and the game is just sort of hiding the enemy count. It could do that, it would be really rude of it to do so, but I would still believe that it would. And see, I'm kind of getting the hang of this. Oh, there's
Tron.
There's Tron after he got... Oh. Whatever happened to him.
I don't understand. Why are you here?
We came to give you the password.
Why didn't you just transmit the data?
Transmit?
Hey.
They've never seen a computer before. Come on.
All right. Once we access the DTD.
Yeah, well, I hope he's not in too bad a shape if I bring him out here. Let's go, and surely we just go back this way and we go through the rest of the world map now, right? Oh, the battle music is a little bit slower of a version of that remix. It seems slightly odd to me, but I guess we're not really in real danger from any of these goofuses. Yet. Until they pull out the complete shenanigan attack that's just like, hey, yeah, say goodbye to your entire HPs. Are these the same Soldier Heartless that we've been fighting and they're just slightly retextured, or do they count as a whole new enemy? Let's take a look at the journal. I don't believe they count as a new enemy. I just want to check, though. Spot on the night. That's... yeah. So just going through here, making sure that I'm not in some way incorrect about that. It is just the regular Soldier Heartless, but slightly retextured. I mean, I do like that, again, that they sort of restylize some of these existing enemies for this world. That's pretty cool. As usual, the attention to detail and stuff. So as much as there's a lot to say about this, you know, a lot I could criticize this game for, I do genuinely feel like the people who made it cared about it. I don't know if you'd always know that from the voice acting, but... Enjoy? Well... that might be a bit of a stretch, guys. I see. It's war games we've got going on then, huh? The only winning move is not to play? I mean, yes, that is... one might consider that to be a little bit too easy of a joke, but it is still correct. The only winning move is indeed not to play Kingdom Hearts. Especially the air quotes side games, because yeah, well, with the way this series plot operates, unfortunately none of those games that are named like they should be spin-offs are actually spin-offs. If you're one of those people who wants to get way into the actual lore of the series, well, you're going to be playing all of that nonsense. And there's a fair chance that you will still not know what's going on, because at least one thing in Kingdom Hearts 3 deals with a thing that was very time restricted. So you'll miss out on at least part of the understanding of that unless you were there at the time. Bit of a dick move, but hey. As I've said before, I'm not a game developer, so maybe I don't understand. Maybe I'm not privy to how this is actually secretly a brilliant idea. Oh, somebody's mad at us.
Finally, I have full access to the DTD. My takeover of the system is now complete. I might have anticipated such a simple password.
Ah, shit.
What's this? An emergency destruct program for the town. Let's see how it performs.
No.
For what reason? Oh, right, because the Master Control program is an asshole.
Tron, tell us what's going on.
The MCP's loading a hostile program into the I.O. tower.
What do we do?
We've got to protect the user town. Let's head to the tower.
All right, are we on a timer? Thank goodness it doesn't seem like it. Maybe later, but for now, not yet. God, 5 AP for that. Are you kidding me, game? Seems a little over the top. Oh yeah, that was our first... Oh, we got more stuff in there, apparently. Excuse me. Oh yeah, it's that thing. Right. That makes sense. Okay, so... I guess we can throw out Tron's Limit and see what it looks like once we get to another area slightly more populated with enemies.
Running executable.
Oh, this looks like it deals it. Yeah, 150 hit combo plus the ender there. The finisher, that does a very large amount of hits. I don't know that it's necessarily valuable to do huge numbers of hits, but hey, number go up and that makes Monkey Brain happy, right? And sometimes that's as much as you need. Sometimes it's even more than you need. Whoa, hey. Seriously? God, the Wind Mage's little tornado is actually kind of a pain in the butt when you're by yourself. Okay, we can't do shit over here yet, I guess. Alright, so let's... Whoa, hey. Ease off there, buddy.
Let's go.
Oh, that was an interesting end of the combo there. Yes, our healing magic. I guess Donald needed some HP too, but he probably spawned right into an attack, so that would be how that would go. I'll check that save point in a minute. There's these to pick up. Their IO Tower map.
Okay.
Gaia Belt. Greatly increases defense as well as thunder and dark resistance. That's probably +3 defense. In addition to those elemental buffs. Yeah. So, Donald, go ahead and take those. I know you're probably thinking I should give those pieces of equipment to other characters. But the less Donald dies, the better. Because in theory, he can heal us once in a while, if he uses his one brain cell that he's permitted to use. Okay, how do I go to the next? Oop, sorry. Do I just go backwards? Or is it the next room physically? Well, I guess we'll find out. Okay, yeah, I just had to be sure because otherwise that was a little bit strange. Back to the I.O. tower. Okay, yeah, next room is previous room in this case. We got a big nasty boy here with tiny legs.
Why do you insist on allying with these selfish users?
Because I want to help them. Something written into my code commands me to do what is right.
Really? And what command would that be?
I can't really say for sure.
Friends, they help each other, that's all. Uh-oh, look out!
Yeah, we gotta deal with this thing first. Save the speech for later.
Running executable. Access approved.
Yeah, this time we didn't get anywhere near that amount of hits because we were nowhere near that guy for most of that. It spends too much time moving around. So that is not really a very feasible way of dealing with it. Oh, there we go. That makes sense. We gotta pick up the clusters so that way we can cast stop on it. And that will make things a lot easier. Again, kind of using the mechanic that we saw earlier in the world, but in a slightly different context. Which, fair enough. Each of these worlds seems to have something of a gimmick to the battles that you engage in them. Freeze him.
Run! Running executable.
Right, get in there. Wow, he unfroze real fast. This motherfucker. Come on. Please stay within range of at least a couple of hits of that. Oh yeah, there's the combo. That's what we like to see.
This is it. Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, you can tell this thing is angry. Angry. Whoa. But it stopped, so works for me. Able to clean that up nicely.
I really owe you one. With all my functions up and running, I think I've got a chance of getting system control away from the MCP. Now, I'd better get to work.
Hey, thankfully it looks like our goals are kind of lining up together.
What Ansem would want. Listen, Tron. We didn't get the password from Ansem. We just sort of found it, back in the user world. By accident. And one more thing, Ansem, he was our enemy. I mean, he still is, I guess.
Well, actually...
Well, I mean, Ansem again, the story kind of goes, he started out as a good guy and then...
Ansem took Encom's original system and customized it for his own use. I was part of the original system, and Ansem modified me, too. So, that makes him my user. But Ansem is also the one who brought back the MCP. The Ansem I first knew wouldn't do that. I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
That's okay, but now I really don't get it.
I don't...
Right, sort of coming back to a story point that was...
But I think users like you are going to be the ones who will finally figure it out.
In Kingdom Hearts 1.
You have the ability to take illogical routes and still arrive at the answers
But
you seek.
not completely
Now go, before the MCP starts
dealt
acting
with.
up again.
Regardless, Kingdom Hearts plot is generally kind of nonsense anyway, so... You get Vicinity Break. What? Powerful attack when surrounded. Yeah, let's go for it. That seems kind of useful, actually. Oh yeah, I meant to equip Lucky Lucky onto Goofy. Truth be told, I probably should be equipping Jackpot instead, so that way we get better drops of money, but... Okay, yeah, so we're going back to... Going back to the surface world, we're jacking out.
Any data you need from the DTD can be accessed directly through my user's terminal. I'll keep a dedicated access channel open for you. I changed the password, so you won't have to worry about the MCP for a while.
Access channel?
I knew you'd ask. It's a very important link between our worlds. It's how we stay connected. You, my friends, are the new password.
Hey, don't say that. The machine might hear you and be able to crack faster.
Give my best to the users.
That could be a problem. Oh well. The Photon Debugger. We got ourselves a new weapon. Looks a little bit situational unless it has very good stats. I do not use Thunder Magic very much in this game at all. Because they kind of made it a little worse.
Well, that's that.
Look.
Oh, that's fun.
Hang in there.
Look at those
So,
8-bit graphics.
Where do we start?
I know. Let's access the DTD.
The King's checking the situation in town. He'll be back soon, so don't worry. Hey, look. It's asking for a password.
That's easy. It's...
Sora!
Goofy!
That's... to the point.
Well...
Again, I don't know if necessarily entering is going to be the choice
I have to go
action
into
here.
town. Need to see what that last shakeup did.
You're not gonna check out the data? It wasn't exactly easy to get.
I'm coming right back.
Print it out.
Hey, Sora. Why don't you get started unloading the data and copying it down?
Also, that the
just
word
a few
source
key
there
search.
is misspelled.
Easy, right?
But, yeah, it's probably just a graphical asset that wasn't updated from the Japanese version or something. Or nobody was paying huge attention at the time because of resolution. And it not being very high. Let's take a quick look at the PD's stats here. It's a 3-2. That's... I'm not gonna lie, the fact that its magic stat is only 2, considering what it's about, that seems kind of ass, really.
Can you walk?
Hey, these things take time.
But that's okay. I don't necessarily know that I should expect these games to be well balanced.
Whoa, it's doing something.
I think it wants
Thank you,
to
Sora.
know what we want to know.
Riku and Kairi. No way. Even Ansem's computer doesn't know.
I probably didn't get checked.
What's he doing?
I thought I'd ask the computer if it can tell us about them nobodies.
And see, even Goofy's got a better idea than Sora. That's amazing.
What's this?
The data is corrupt.
How about the organization? There!
The data is corrupt.
Stupid computer.
Sora!
I like how the windows are all like jostling around like that. That's fun.
Well, I see you got things working.
Ah, yeah, good old percussive maintenance. You know.
Good going. The computer should tell us the things we need to know.
But it keeps on saying the data inside's all kerscuffled.
All we got is a picture of some guy we don't know.
Ansem the Wise.
Come on, are you teasing us again?
Did you forget what Ansem looked like, Your Majesty?
Of course I do, and this is him. I'm positive.
Huh?
Excuse me.
Very,
could you
very
come
long
this way,
story.
please?
Good job, Sora, just grabbing Mickey and dragging him away.
Look, this is Ansem. You know, the guy we all worked really hard to defeat.
Oh, that's right. I never finished explaining.
What?
Oh boy, here comes lots and lots of backstory.
The man in the picture is definitely the one who tried to take over Kingdom Hearts. The one you fellas defeated. But what you actually fought was his Heartless. You see, he wasn't really Ansem. He just went around telling everybody that he was.
Huh. Okay, can you give more information beyond that? What connection does he have to the guy, and why was he using his name?
What? We went through all that trouble to defeat an imposter?
Yup, a fake. But he still had to be stopped.
I can't believe it.
Oh, I'm kind of confused. If he's a fake, then what happened to the real Ansem?
Well, that's just what I'm trying to figure out. Ansem the Wise should know all about Organization 13's plans and what's been happening to the worlds. I'm pretty sure he'll give us some help. You know, I came close to finding him once.
Don't tell me there's more. I'm lost enough as it is.
That's Kingdom Hearts in a nutshell for you.
Well, let's see. Some feller named Ansem, who wasn't really Ansem, became a Heartless. Does that mean a nobody got created when that happened too?
About
Yeah.
that.
And that nobody is the leader of the organization.
Ah, yes, our good buddy, Mansex.
I know I've met this fake Ansem before, and I've seen the leader of Organization 13, too. Kind of felt like being around the same fella.
So, where did you meet this guy?
Gosh, I can't remember.
That seems to happen a lot
wise,
when it comes
the
to
real Ansem
anything to do with these
must know
guys.
the imposter's true identity. That's why I've got to find him and ask him about it.
You started all of this. Because of you, Riku and Kairi. Oh, Your Majesty, do you know where Riku is?
He's... I'm sorry. I can't help.
He's horribly lost. That's right, everybody. He has no idea where the hell he is.
Really, Your Majesty? Are you sure?
I'm sorry, Sora.
What about Kairi? Organization 13 might have kidnapped her.
Might have. That definitely sounds like what the story was that you got from the guys in Twilight Town.
Donald. Goofy. I was planning to go get help from Ansem the Wise, but now I know I forgot the most important thing. Helping others should always come before asking others for help. We're safe and sound and free to choose. So there's no reason we shouldn't choose to help our friends. Let's look for Riku and Kairi together.
Where the... Ooh.
Outside! Sounds like we gotta start by helping out here.
What, and fight the earthquake that we just dealt with? Oh. No, that's probably not what it is. I believe this is leading up to the Thousand Heartless battle, which I remember being this very much touted sequence in the original game of like, oh, the Battle of the Thousand Heartless, you know, like, hey, check out how much the PS2 can do. And when we get to it, I find it a little underwhelming, but...
Attack the white husks! Sweep them away!
What are you, nuts? We're never gonna win. I don't know about you, but I'm out of here, sister.
You pathetic coward.
Hey, if the bad guys are gonna keep fighting each other, that'll be helpful, actually.
Heartless, leave the white ones. Turn your attention to Sora and his friends.
Uh-oh!
Oh, yeah, we got a bit of a mix, because unfortunately, they find out about Sora, and they're like, oh, yeah, now we're gonna almost team up. Almost. Okay, yeah, these are those guys. And also, that action command, that Rising Sun effect, is much slower moving than I remember, actually. So when we actually get to the thing that I mentioned earlier, we're going to be fighting mostly those. And really, that fight almost does boil down to just mash triangle forever. But we'll see that when we get there.
Where's Maleficent?
Looks like she ran away.
Well, that was pretty lame of her.
I guess we picked the wrong side.
You know. Bounty hunting's a pain in the ass in that way or something. I don't know.
I mean, minus 58 was special and I relaying this up, so I figured she'd be okay to check
Because they're just arguing with each other. We get to hear absolutely none of it, really. And
Hey, if you're looking to pick sides, why don't you pick Leon's? They can always use help.
Does this Leon have any treasure? Yeah, lots of stuff. Perfect.
Come on.
we just have no idea if any of it's in use.
Who are you?
Oh, we're nothing worth mentioning.
Just 3 treasure fanatics.
Later, taters.
Yeah, jokes about the quality of 10-2 aside.
Did
Well,
Leon really have any treasure?
oh, probably. Donald, get back here, you goofus.
time for you.
Oh, hey, we just annihilate those things in the cutscene. Good. We're that strong now. Oh, this guy again. Well, hopefully we don't have to fight him right now.
Ain't Sephiroth the one who's supposed to be the dark part of Cloud's heart?
Did Cloud tell you that? Then he must understand now.
Just what are you gonna do to him?
Nothing. Cloud is the one who hungers for darkness.
He said he's got a score to settle with you.
I see. He wants to meet me again.
Yeah, go deal with him yourself so that way we can...
Then I should give him what he wants.
Get back to not being
That
interrupted
last
by
bit of
that.
light is always the hardest to snuff out.
Oh, off he goes. Oh, he's got to go into the air to teleport. One of those kind of teleports. Oh, well. That wasn't there last time. Save. I mean, we definitely have an opportunity to. We may as well. Care to tell me what's in here at least, game? Cavern of Remembrance Depths. I don't remember this at all, so... I guess we'll come back to it later, because we got stuff to deal with. That might be added for Final Mix. Or maybe it's just made available at a different time. Oh, incoming. Alright, going to Master Form. Again, because it would be a good idea to level this up. The combo there, Sora, come on. Yeah, those are some very flashy finishing moves that are probably, like, needlessly so.
The King's in the Bailey. You better head over there.
Got it.
Alright. Easy. Probably. Probably easy. Ooh, that's pretty rough. Something big hit this, that's for sure.
Whoa.
Oh, here we go, yeah. Look at this big army. Again, very much a spectacle of spectacle, you know? Which sounds like a really stupid thing to say when I word it like that, but... it is just all about, hey, look how cool it is that we got all these enemy models on screen. Also, Stitch is out here shooting a couple of motherfuckers. That's pretty fun. The Gullwings are apparently completely unarmed. But they can still fight. But also, there's just too many of these guys. Oh no, we need a protagonist to bring in protagonist powers in order to fend off this siege.
Well, might be tough if one more shows up.
Thank you, Cloud. Thank you, Leon.
You're fighting too?
Never mind, I actually like these guys. Usually I'm not a big fan of the FF7, FF8 characters as compared to a lot of previous Final Fantasy games and even quite a few after.
Sephiroth!
Oh, dude, it's not the time. Come on. Cloud's sword is still covered in bandages, man. It hasn't fully healed yet.
Once I get rid of you, the darkness will go away.
Can you do it? That darkness comes from your own dark memories. Do you think you can erase your past?
Shut up!
Face it. You turn your back
Good job. Good retort.
on the past. Because the light of the present is too much.
You don't know me!
Cloud!
I know. Because I am you.
Ah, yes, I've also played the Persona games. Or at least Persona 4, which this predates. Apparently there's a Persona 4 remake that was accidentally spoiled due to a Blue Sky post
Leon,
by Yuri Lowenthal.
hang in there.
And I'm very neutral on it because I admit I am not a big fan of Persona 4. Like, I think I liked it at the time, but thinking about it afterwards,
But Leon and the others are friends too.
not as
Don't
much.
worry, there's already lots of help here. We'll take care of this fight.
But I promised Leon.
Donald, Goofy, take Sora and get going.
Riku, Kairi, give me a little time, okay?
I mean, truth be told, this will take like 15 minutes out of our gameplay clock at most.
Your Majesty!
We understand. We'll go search for Riku and Kairi.
Right. Watch for danger.
You be careful too!
Wait, you guys.
Sora, do as you're told.
You're coming with us whether you want to or not.
Come on, Sora.
Look
You're
at
gonna
the-
be good.
Donald takes that long to show, hey, yeah, hey, I'm goofing with you. I was getting a couple of frame drops there, it looked like, in the middle of that cutscene. I wonder if it's because it's got all those models loaded up.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty.
Hope you can forgive us.
Listen, it's a lot of bodies out there, and I don't think anybody in that party has a triangle button. Oh, there's that guy. Oh. So is the MCP just acting as a bit of a, you know, on his own? Oh, he came in, he formatted the computer, and he left. Could just unplug the hard drive, dude. Or a large amount of the components would probably be fine to just unplug and leave. I don't know. I still am not completely confident as to what's going on, except that this dude in the black cloak, which could be anyone at this point, is descending into this part of the machine. Please don't make me watch the whole walk down the stairs. Ramp. Ramp stairs. Well, fine, I'm gonna go take a look. Oh, no. Black screened. It's like, screw it, I'm gonna go and look at my phone and read something, I don't know.
Master Ansem, regarding the experiment I presented the other day, with your permission, I'd like to proceed.
I forbid it! Forget this talk of doors and the heart of all worlds. That place must not be defiled.
But Master Ansem, I've been thinking...
They are not. Those thoughts are best forgotten.
There it is, the name. Listed for the first time. The name of the beast, Xehanort.
It has been far too long, friend.
You get more. Oh, there's Zexion. He's dead, so this is at least partially a flashback, I think.
Zexion! Zexion!
Are we gonna get to the Leonard Nimoy factory? That's a good question.
Is it? Where is Lord Xemnas?
Oh, this guy's dead too.
Spot?
Yeah, so this is like all
The Chamber of Repose.
flashback stuff, I
Yes.
assume.
Go and see for yourself. That isn't funny.
Yes, Leonard Nimoy voices Xehanort.
But to wait.
But
Time is
Xehanort doesn't
running out.
actually show up in this game.
Why is he never around?
He first appears in the series as a character outside of just like, hey, here's a lore person in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. So whenever I get around to that, which I probably will, because
Eavesdropping is intrusive. Why are you
that that is kind of like a real game in the vein of the other Kingdom Hearts games.
Or were you procrastinating?
So
if I'm doing my job.
Unlike
You know, I found one just yesterday. Mar something. That puts the organization
unlike playing
11. And since I've been working
shit.
so hard, I had Lexius take my place for the day. I want to rest up
Blah, 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 blah.
so I can wake up.
Unlike playing Chain of Memories, which is very, very weird and clunky and janky,
I have work to catch up on.
Birth by Sleep actually plays pretty well from what I remember. So one of these days I'll probably get to that. But yeah, Leonard Nimoy voices Xehanort in Birth by Sleep.
Isn't it time you told
And then by the time Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, which was like what, 2019 or something? By that time, obviously, Leonard Nimoy was not with us anymore, so he was voicing that game by Rutger Hauer. Until they had to release DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3, by which point Rutger Hauer had passed on as well. I explained this in a previous stream for anybody who's like watching this whole series and is like, you said this already. Yeah, I did, but Roundy was not here.
Chamber of Repose. If you recall, that's where we spent our time researching the darkness that resides within people's hearts. It's a graveyard that was sealed by order of Ansem the Wise.
I'm just kind of like, wow, I can't think of a whole lot of characters with the asterisk here of characters who have not been around for truly all that long. This game is turning 20 years old later this year based on Japanese release. Turns 20 years old next year based on US release. So this Xehanort guy hasn't existed as such for more than 20 years. You know,
I know I would very much like to focus on my own.
Not exactly a long-running character in a lot of ways. There's stuff that, you know,
facility immediately, but there
are many things older than this. Who could imagine?
We're going to need a few more.
But having two English language actors / voice actors die.
What does Xemnas plan on doing with that place anyway?
That is kind of rare.
He
I think.
already shared his intentions with us.
But did you know there's something he didn't share?
Oh yeah, sorry, I haven't been paying much attention to the plot. The place where Chain of Memories took place was actually an important location in terms of the stuff that these guys are doing.
Call it that. It was constructed by someone other than Xemnas himself, and that's where he'll find it. That's where he'll find his other.
Obviously, they're still kind of being very vague about it, no matter what. So it's. So I could be not talking over this, and you would all be sitting around waiting for the follow-up to come up in whenever I play any of these games 10 years from now or something. Or just look things up on the Kingdom Hearts wiki if any of you are that invested. I believe the Kingdom Hearts wiki is actually quite good. Oh, this guy again!
Hey, you guys are looking lively.
Didn't we catch you messing around in the underworld? How'd a wimp like you get into Organization 13?
Damn, X, we're busy.
I bet you can't even fight.
Yeah, but we can.
You shouldn't judge anyone by appearance. Oh, I told them they were sending the wrong guy.
Who is this kook?
Remember, the organization's made up of nobodies.
Right. No hearts.
Oh, we do too have hearts. Don't be mad.
You can't trick us.
There's like a whole plot point in one of the later games where it's like the Organization 13 nobodies, because they've been around for as long as they have, are starting to redevelop hearts and something like that. Really, how much does this come to anything? Because it's Kingdom Hearts. I would not expect anybody to be paying much attention to it if I wasn't talking over every cutscene. Alright, so this is basically the same Demyx boss fight that we had earlier. Where we're on a time crunch here to whack as many of his weird water ghosts as possible in this time frame. It really is not wanting to let me get a chance to actually do much of the triangle button action commands. Oh god, we have an actual fight in between that. Okay. I mean, fair enough, but I did not realize that is a lot grosser than, because otherwise I was going to say, yeah, that was irritating. But that didn't seem that bad. But no, he's got an actual battle associated with it, which is suggesting to me there is a distinct possibility he might re-summon those. Oh, he's getting, like, really pissy. Yes, yeah. I knew that there was a distinct possibility of something like this. Thankfully, that's not that hard. Because the time limit was... Well, it was a 15-second time limit for taking out 10 of them, which I'm going to call generous because it was more than 1 second each. So to me, that feels like you're giving me plenty of time to do stuff. Ultimately, it is still like, hey, it's only 15 seconds, but it felt like 15 seconds that was a reasonable length of time. No matter, that boss fight wasn't that bad, although I was a little bit nervous that there were a couple of times I was getting that heavily comboed that maybe it might, like, kind of lock me into a cycle of hurting a little bit. Unfortunately for Demix, no such luck, and he is dead again.
Anyone from the organization who'd like to be next?
We never get to find out
help our friends out first.
what that dude's, like, actual name before becoming an organization guy is, because all of them have names as members of the organization where it's their original name plus an X and then take an anagram of it. Because, you know, incredibly silly.
Lots of friends to help. So, I guess we better all pull together and finish this battle for good.
I think he's the only one that they don't have, like, a confirmed name for of his, like, pre-nobody form. Ouch.
Goofy.
That might be a little extreme even for slapstick, kind of.
Come on, wake up.
I'm sorry about the ice cream.
Goofy?
Goofy.
This is not happening. It can't be.
Goofy just fucking died.
Can't.
This is... God damn, these games are incredibly ridiculous. Like, the fact that I can sit here and say, Goofy just fucking died. And it's actually a thing that happened. And it's in this game that's aimed at, like, an audience of... I don't know, age 8+, and not some sort of weird flash animation thing that you would see on some website that very possibly no longer exists anymore. He yucked his last... Yeah. God, describing these games is so bizarre sometimes. And not just because the plots are absolute fucking nonsense, but that has never made it easier. There are... There are definitely things that are, like, overcomplicated in sort of the on-purpose way that I've had easier times being able to describe. and which I would describe and spend far less time being like, oh, that's bullshit what I just said. That looks completely different, actually. It doesn't spiral out anymore. Does that have less range than my regular fire spell? Or am I just imagining it? It probably just looks that way, and I'm completely imagining it at this point. I would be. Oh, here's Cloud. No longer busy with Sephiroth, I see. Yeah, these enemies are not too into the idea of me using magic, I see. I assume this is supposed to be a point where that limit form that we got would be of great use, because we're short an ally, especially due to Goofy being dead for some reason.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Man.
Goofy.
What a video game. No, he's fine apparently.
Goofy!
You know, that really
Huh.
hurt.
Aw, Goofy.
Of course, Your Majesty. I get bumped on the head all the time. Wow, whoa, whoa, whoa. That hurt too.
Don't you ever do that again!
I need like an actual like soundboard thing at some point for Goofy fucking noises. Yeah. I know, right? Well, I'm not gonna lie, that does sort of seem like a flaw attendant to the genre a little bit. Oh, yes. It's in the... Yeah, there's a couple of our torn pages of the Winnie the Pooh book. But we'll deal with that later. Because we got more of this to do real quick.
Huh? What's with them?
Yeah, here we go.
Hey!
That's a lot of dudes. Which one is that? I was gonna say, he's pretty chunky. Yeah, that's Xemnas, alright.
It's the guy who's got Ansem.
You mean it's his nobody?
The leader of Organization 13.
If you got a good close-up on those eyes, they'd have quite, it looked like they had a bit of patterning to them, very fire-looking.
Now I know. Wise Ansem, I am here to seek your advice.
He's just sitting there with his ice cream bar.
I have the opportunity to speak like this, my friend. I'm intrigued by your hypothesis, and I'm finding it difficult to stave off.
But, you know, Kingdom Hearts, monstrously silly.
Still, I'm concerned about the stability of the worlds.
Yup, that's what worries me too.
The doors that appeared, the place the heartless seek. I fear my research may have brought this upon us.
Master Ansem, regarding the experiment I presented the other day, with your permission, I'd like to proceed.
I forbid it! Forget this talk of doors and the heart of all worlds. That place must not be defiled.
But Master Ansem, I've been thinking...
Xehanort.
Oh, so it is Xehanort. I was gonna be like, that sounds like Xigbar for some reason, but it's not. Yeah, this game is kind of incredibly silly, to put it nicely. It's definitely a choice.
Now I remember. Xehanort, Ansem's apprentice. The leader of Organization
Anyway,
13
that was a much younger Xehanort than we see him later, where he's quite older and he's actually voiced by Leonard Nimoy. I forgot his young version was in this game, period. So, yeah. I gotta think that a large percentage of interest in Kingdom Hearts, in like any part of it as a franchise, comes down very heavily to the weirdness factor on, you know, of a concept level, right? Where it just, a lot of people have to be like, oh, that's a completely ridiculous idea. And then there were quite a few people who played the first one as like, oh, this plays pretty well. And then afterwards, you've got people who are basically just a captive audience, right? Where it's like, oh, this is complete nonsense. And it's gonna get even more nonsensical. Okay, so this plays out a bit differently than I remember. I didn't remember you being able to grab these things and make them shoot laser beams at all. This is what I remember, is just mash triangle and just dash through a bunch of these armor guys. So perhaps my recollection is a little bit funky. I wonder what this would be like if you were doing basically a do not do any reaction commands kind of challenge. That would be this would be quite tedious then, is the main thing I can say about it, but interesting, because I feel like the sheer overwhelming tide of these garbage enemies might actually start giving you some trouble. Like, hey, yeah, one of them finally remembered to attack me now that I've killed 800 of these dudes, right? Great work. Thank you, game. I'm very glad that you decided to give me anything to challenge me. Actually, I'm kind of glad this is easy, because I feel like after we just spent so much time absolutely belly laughing at the stupid plot elements that are completely goofy. Oh. In this situation, that actually applies. But my point is, I think we've earned a break after that, because would we have recovered to be able to actually fight halfway decently if we were too busy laughing our asses off all those minutes ago? But as you can see, it's a dirt simple scenario from a gameplay perspective. For the time, I assume it was kind of impressive, because I don't recall this having like lag or anything on the PS2. I mean, it's been forever since I played it on the PS2, but that is kind of a lot of models to have moving around and stuff. So from a technical perspective that you might not have been able to appreciate if you were the target audience's age at the time.
How long has it been since I abandoned that name?
It might have been pretty impressive.
Where's Kairi? Where's Riku?
I know nothing of any Kairi. As for Riku, perhaps you should ask your king.
He said he didn't remember. They didn't know. Besides, how long have they been separated from each other? They might not know it. Might not know anyway. Well. I mean, surely there's a solution to this. Just gonna take us a minute to get there. Or several minutes, because I'm sure that we're gonna start hitting the walls of cutscenes pretty soon.
Way to fall right into their trap.
Oh, it's you again.
Come on, it's a setup by Organization 13. Xemnas is using you to destroy the Heartless. That's his big master plan.
Xemnas?
The guy you just saw. He's their leader. Got it memorized? Xemnas.
Organization 13 wants to get rid of the Heartless?
Yeah, I think there's probably some more background that needs to be filled in here.
Every Heartless slain with that Keyblade releases a captive heart. That is what the organization is after.
So what are those guys gonna do with the hearts?
I'm not telling.
And where do they go?
You're the one who kidnapped Kairi.
Bingo. The name's Axel. Got it
Yeah, we've
memorized.
seen you before, I think.
Where is Kairi?
Well, obviously we, the audience, have, but...
Please, just tell me.
Look, about Kairi, I'm sorry.
Axel. We'll ensure he receives the maximum punishment.
Someone explain to me what's going on.
I don't care about any of that. Just let me into the realm of darkness, okay?
If it's Kairi you're worried about, don't. We're taking very good care of her.
Take me to her.
Yeah, me too. Especially the amounts of them who are like the actual returning voice actors. Because I've got to imagine, how weird is it that you get called up to voice this big, well-known character
Please.
that you
do care for her.
voiced in a previous Disney film
The answer's no.
for this big Disney crossover game. And then you get into the voice acting booth, you know, or whenever they give you the lines, and it's just like,
Directed at the Heartless.
you have to read all this stuff about hearts and the stability of worlds and all this nonsense lore that Tetsuya Nomura came up with, because apparently he wasn't satisfied with the level of grapho-fucking-mania he was allowed to engage in
They know not
with Final Fantasy.
of what they hold. The rage of the Keyblade releases those hearts. They gather in darkness, masterless and free, until they weave together to make King.
You know, the shit that he was writing for,
When that time comes, we can truly
maybe FF8 is probably the one that's like the most bonkers by this period, but regardless,
Kingdom Hearts belongs to me. The heart of all kingdoms. The heart of all that lives.
God, it really is Kojima levels of cutscene length, isn't it?
Maleficent, no!
No more Heartless! I do not take orders from you!
They're all just...
Fool.
Oh no!
Stream goes till 3 a.m. God, at this rate, it's gonna happen! I made a huge mistake by not just saving before... Or, well, I guess saving right after Goofy died, basically, and just being like, okay. Guys, remember when Goofy died for 2 minutes?
I shall have my revenge on you.
Like...
Maleficent! Leave now! I don't take orders from you. But
This game is so lucky that it's fun to play, you know? That's all I can say about the Kingdom Hearts games on the whole, truth be told. Even the first one's a little bit of nonsense, but at least it's like reasonably terse nonsense, I guess.
which side are you guys on anyway?
The Heartless ally with whoever's the strongest.
It's totally like, why is this a thing that exists sort of thing, but hey, by itself, it's a thing that ties itself up nicely. It's a weird, silly fan fiction that two companies with way too much money as compared to the amount of sense they have put together. Whatever. And again, gameplay's fine. So, sure, why not? But then you start getting past this point and it's like, it just goes well past the level of...
Maybe everything we've done, maybe it was all for nothing.
Just after one game,
What am I supposed to do if I can't use the keyblade?
any charm or interest that there is in the nonsense gets to be non-existent, and it keeps getting bigger in scope and more nonsensical. Once again, thank fucking goodness these games play well. Because otherwise, oh boy.
Relax.
What
Those
a...
three aren't going down that easily.
It would be the sort of thing that would exist for the sheer purpose of bile fascination. Then again, I say that, and I know that there's plenty of things out there that I simply
See you soon.
am not sure that I understand. Listen, I lived through an era of the internet where Homestuck was really big, and people were complete unironic fans of all of it, and not willing to, not at any point like, hey, this is a load of absolute nonsense.
Make him that much harder to control.
Well, I don't know what to tell you anymore, folks.
What does it matter, really? Whatever his circumstances, Sora has never been able to
We've hit the
help
tipping
himself from
point.
saving people from the Heartless.
We've hit the tipping point.
Pure little heart wants.
There. The dice have been cast. Things are in motion. He can't stop this.
And I mean, I think it's fitting because
Nothing is set in
technically,
stone. If the dice aren't in your favor,
if I'm not
you will
wrong,
share Demyx's his fate.
I can actually pretty much go finish the plot from here if I wanted to.
Knowing, isn't it?
My level is a little low for the kind of skill level that I'm at, but
Are you sure that defeating him won't derail the organization's plan?
If he is to die so easily, he is of no use to us.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. It's not in my nature to hold back.
I guess sometimes help comes from unexpected places.
Sure does.
oh god, are we still in cutscene hell? Yep.
Maybe everything we've done, maybe it was all for nothing. What am I supposed to do if I can't use the Keyblade?
Imbeciles! You can't be trusted to do anything.
Huh?
And we get sucked into the ground, which is a thing that happens sometimes. Oh, what now? Other than we're sort of in the void. Sort of.
What's this place?
It must be the realm of darkness.
Well, gee, what gave you that indication?
Kairi! Riku!
What? Who's there?
He left us.
Are you
Oh,
sure you want to open?
It looked like a big pile of papers.
that?
A photograph and an ice cream bar that somehow hasn't melted.
Gorge.
All right, sure.
It's the gang from Twilight Town. There's Hayner, Pence, Olette, and,
Roxas. No. The name just popped into my head. This is Roxas.
It's because you're the same
You sure
guys.
you want to eat that?
Salty? No. Sweet.
Well, okay, another keyhole. That's probably why it didn't melt. I shouldn't ask questions, but unfortunately, I have sort of hit this point of like, oh God, like, man. Everybody who worked on this game, at least from the perspective of the designs and the writing and any of that, they all really need some fucking editors.
Not yet.
Like, yeesh.
Kairi.
Oh my goodness. Holy shit. Oh my god, I think we might finally be done with the cutscenes.
Photo and some ice cream. Wonder if there's some sort of clue. And who would have left them for us anyway?
Riku?
You think?
Just this feeling I got.
Yeah! We're almost there!
Hey, what if the Heartless are back again? I can't use the Keyblade. That would only help the organization.
Oh, shut up.
Sora, I think you have to use it. If we don't fight them, the Heartless will keep on hurting folks.
Just... I was gonna say, just interfere with the plan at the, you know... Which sounds like I'm almost doing the, what would you do? I would step in meme sort of thing. But, listen, in my defense, I might be a little bit worn out from this.